On December 1, 2019, the first case of COVID was identified in Wuhan, China. People read it in the news. People saw the devastation in Wuhan. People saw the impact of COVID on other humans in Wuhan. And people continued with business as usual. On January 20, 2020, the first COVID case in the US was identified. Because between December and January, there was Christmas, there was New Year, there was the Chinese New Year break. During those breaks, humans traveled across the globe to be with their loved ones. Humans traveled across the globe to be with the people that they don't love. Humans traveled across the globe to celebrate the holidays with their loved ones. Humans traveled across the globe to be with their loved ones. And during those times, humans carried COVID across the globe. By March of 2020, COVID became a global pandemic. The World Health Organization declared COVID a global pandemic, and that led to a shutdown. We started hearing words like social distancing. We started hearing words like 5 feet distance. Because at that point, humans realized there is something in human that can easily be transferred. At that point, humans realized that there's something that can easily be transferred from one another just by your interaction with another human. There is power in human. There is power in human. And what COVID helped us to understand that there is impact that we derive from our interaction with others. There is knowledge that we gain from our interaction with others. Welcome to the HOW platform. This is the HOW platform. And in this video, I want to touch on something that is going to be like I'm shaking table. We're going to pitch on the principle of success by focusing on the power of community, the principle of community. And in this video, you're going to learn how to build your community. In this video, you're going to learn the advantage of an effective community. And in this video, you're also going to learn how to grow your community, how to continue to grow your community by the way you invest and by the way you interact with your community. And finally, in this video, you're going to learn how to select your community. Because whichever way you want to think about it, everyone is not going to like you. Everyone will not want you in their space. And you don't want everyone in your own space too. So you're going to learn how to select your own community. So in this video, we're talking about the principle of community. For the past 10 videos, and feel free to check them in the channel, we have been talking about the principles that guides a successful life. So we started with clarity, and we said clarity is a function of light and truth. And then we move on to courage, and we said courage comes from stepping in to step out. We move on to consistency. We said consistency is courage on repeat. And then we pitched our tent somewhere around contentment. We said contentment is knowing your capacity and being grateful for your potential. And then we stepped out and we moved on to the power of commitment. Because without commitment, you're not going to be able to do anything. Without commitment, there's no courage. Without commitment, there's no courage in others. There's not even any confidence in yourself. And then after talking about commitment, we move into contentment. We moved from contentment and we finally focus on communication. I spent a couple of videos talking about communication, starting from asking questions, answering questions, the power of silence. And in the last video, we talk about the power of using silence in your communication to get what you want. In the last video, we focused on hearing, being able to distill voice from noise, because there are noises everywhere. If you look at all the principles that we have been talking about, starting from clarity, you will realize that everything begins and starts with your community. Community or your relationship matters. Your community is the beginning and the end of you. Through the coming together of two people you were given birth to. And when we die, somebody has to put us in Mother Earth. Our community matters. Because our community will determine our language. Our community determines our vocabulary. Not only in terms of what we speak. Our community determines our vision. Because until you see somebody in your situation that look like you achieving something, you might not be able to visualize yourself in that situation or in that capacity. When I said clarity is a function of truth and light, human carry light. One of the sources of light is human being. We're not going to talk about the type of light human carry, but humans are light. When you look at people, they bring a form of light that comes in form of courage, and sometimes they bring a form of light that comes in form of discouragement. When you look at human, they bring a light that brings hope into you, and sometimes human give you a reason not to have hope in anything. When you look at human, they tell you the capacity that is within you based on what you have seen somebody that looks like you do, which is why inclusion in every area, either in organization or in businesses or in ministry, particularly in church, this is why inclusion matters. Because until you see yourself in a situation, until you see yourself in a particular capacity, you might not be able to see somebody else in that capacity. And until you see somebody in the capacity, you might not be able to visualize yourself in that capacity. That is why we have fewer women who are on the pulpit, because we don't see a lot of us doing that. Human are lights. The type of light that we carry is going to be a conversation for another day, but clarity is a function of light, and one source of light is human being. Because when we see other humans, they give us courage. When we see other humans, they give us hope. When we see other humans, they motivate us. When we see other humans, they inspire us. At the same time, when we see other humans, we lose hope. When we see other humans, we see wickedness. When we see other humans, we are discouraged. Because humans are the source of light. Everything starts and ends with a relationship. Your potential in life depends on your relationship. Your capacity in life depends on your relationship. Your language in life depends on your relationship. Your potential in life depends on your relationship. Your exposure depends on your relationship. Your language depends on your relationship. Your communication depends on your relationship. The courage that you have within you depends on your relationship. The noise around you depends on your relationship. The voices around you depend on your relationship. The inspiration that you have depends on your relationship. Your motivation depends on your relationship. Everything starts and begins with relationship. Relationship can ruin you. Relationship can build you. Relationship can bring confusion to your life. Relationship can provide guidance. From your birth to death, you need human. Two people have to come together to make you. And people would have to come together to lay you down when you go back to your God. Relationship. Which is why the way you choose your community now matters. Because everything begins with relationship. Everything ends with relationship. In today's video, I have a lot of story in my mind that I could tell. In today's video, I have a lot of experience that I could share. In today's video, it's going to look like a mash. Because I'm going to be speaking on different things. And you're going to be picking your own lesson based on your own situation. Like I said, what you want to see in this video is going to help you inform how you build your relationship. how you put your committee of relationship together. And in this video, you're going to learn how to also continue to grow that committee, how you want to continue to grow that relationship. And in this video, you are also going to learn how you want to distill voice from noise, how you want to distill fake from real, how you want to focus on what is important, or the community that is important for your next move, the community that is important for your next level, the community that is important for your journey. Because anyone that is not going in your direction is a distraction. Anyone that is not going in your direction is a distraction. Community matters because everything starts and ends with community. All the principles that you have been talking about, when you are communicating, you're talking to human. When you are showing your courage, you're showing your courage to provide an answer to the question in the heart of human, in the heart of men. When you are showing your contentment, you are focusing on your own journey and you are not comparing yourself to others. When you see that all the things that we have been talking about, you will realize that every principle builds on your relationship, your community. Before I jump into the lesson or into the story that I'm going to use to pitch the different aspects of relationship that we want to talk about today, let me first walk you through some things that has to inform our relationship. Let me start with values. Because when it comes to building a relationship, you first want to understand your values. Because your values informs your principles. And your principles guides your choices. And in your choices, you are able to define your boundaries. And with your boundaries, you are able to choose the people that should be part of your community. So you start with your values, the things that are important to you, the things that you value in men, the things that you value in yourself, the things that you value in your environment. And those values informs your principles. Your principles in terms of showing up for others. Your principles in terms of honoring others. Your principles in terms of the respect and the value that you give to others. And in that principle, your principle informs your choices. Because in that your choices, you are able to define your boundaries. You are able to know this is where I want to go. This is what I want in life. This is what I don't want. And based on what you want and you don't want, you are able to define those people who are going with you there or those people who you are going to let go at some point. In this video, I want to speak out of my mind. I'm going to go out of my notes. This is just a foundational lesson. There's going to be a lot of things to talk about on relationship, on community. And this video, you want to think of it as your introduction. There will be a lot of follow-ups on choosing relationship, on building relationship, on selecting relationship, and on setting boundaries. So get prepared to have a lot of conversation around this. When you finish watching this video, you're going to have to go back and call some of your friends and tell them thank you. When you finish watching this video, you're going to call some people that you have classified as enemies and tell them sorry. When you finish watching this video, you're going to realize that you have dishonored some people who have shown you honor. And because of that, you have shut some doors. Because they no longer pick your calls. Because they no longer want to check on you. Because you have dishonored them. And you're going to learn to say please. You're going to learn to say I am sorry. And you're going to learn to say thank you. For those people who are committed to your journey that you have disregarded. Values. Your values shows me how you spend your time. Your values tells us what is important to you. Your values shows how you treat other humans. Your values determines your friendship and your relationship. Your values determine the way you spend your time. Your value informs your commitment. Your values inspire your clarity, because you can only be aware or be clarified in an area of your interest. In economics, we determine the price of anything based on the value that you derive from it. So when a value determines the price of something, your value determines your principle. Your values determines the price that you place on other humans. Your values determines the price that you place on yourself. Because your values informs your principle, and your principle informs your choices, and your choices informs your boundaries, and your boundaries sets up your community. Some of you have been mingling with the wrong crowd. I want you to know that there is a difference between assignments, partnership, and friendship. There is a difference between an assignment, a partnership, and a friendship. I'm going to repeat that again. There is a difference between an assignment, a partnership, and friendship. A partnership, let me not jump out of my note. A partnership is people coming to you to partner with you through a process. A partnership are people that are in your life to partner with you through a process. Maybe you're trying to start off that business and they come and partner with you and help you market the product. Those are partners. Maybe you're trying to grow your social media platform and they come and help you market create your own brand and help you market your own brand. Those are partners. They come in to help you in a particular process. Not every partnership becomes friendship. Not every partnership becomes friendship. Your pastor comes around, help build you up spiritually. Your pastor doesn't necessarily have to become your friend. Not every partnership becomes friendship. An assignment. People that are assigned to you, they come into your life to help you at a point in your purpose. People that are assigned to your destiny, they come in, they are like destiny helper because they are assigned to your purpose. They are assigned to you achieving your purpose. They come in, they give up their own ego, they give up their own lesson, they are vulnerable because they help you through your purpose. People that are assigned to you, they come in at a particular time. And the story that I'm going to share with you today, you will pay attention to how those people came into the life of Jesus. So first, assignment, partnership. An assignment, people that are assigned to you to help you through a purpose, they do not have to become your lifetime friend. Because friendship are people that are in your life at all times. They are people that are in your life through the thick and thin of life. There are people that are in your life through the good, the bad, and the ugly. There are people that are in your life through those chemotherapy. There are people in your life through the birthing of a new baby. There are people in your life through the death of a loved one. There are people in your life when you lost a job. Friendship are people that are in your life when you just win that big contract. Your friendship are people that will cry with you and sit down there and cry with you like Job's friends. And there are people that will look you into the eye and they will say, you have to snap out of it. Your friendship are always true with you. They are not there to motivate you at all times. There are times that they will kick your butt to get up and get to do something. Your friendship are true to you. The reason why some of us are disappointed is that we are expecting friendship out of people that are assigned to us. The expectation that is not met with the responsibility will face disappointment. And sometimes we are in partnership with people and we are expecting friendship from them. And we are saying, oh, she's too proud. She doesn't want to be friends with me. No, she's not proud. She's just a partner in a particular process with you. That doesn't mean that your values align together for it to be a long-time friendship. But a friend is somebody that is there with you at all times. To David, Jonathan was a friend. When David was nobody, was just a violin player at the palace, Jonathan was there. When he was at the battlefield with his father, Jonathan was there. Jonathan was a friend to David. But to Jonathan, David was an assignment. Because Jonathan's assignment was to build David, to build his confidence, to build his capacity, to teach him how to handle being in royalty. David was just coming from the field. He used to be with animal. He's not very familiar with all the protocols and the process and the policy that guides living in the palace. So David needed Jonathan to put him through. So to Jonathan, David was an assignment. But to David, Jonathan was a friend. So as I'm beginning to lay out all these different elements of relationship, you want to begin to see why you are disappointed. Because you are disappointed in people because your expectation is different from their own expectation. You're disappointed in people because your commitment is different from their own commitment. You're disappointed in people because their responsibility to you is different from the way you perceive your responsibility to them. Assignments, partnership, friendship. A friend is there at all times. During the bad times, a friend is there. During the good times, a friend is there. During the up and down of life, a friend is there. During the good, the bad, and the ugly of life, a friend is there. A friend is loyal. A friend understands the language and the currency of honor. The story that I have today is from Mark. And I'm taking my story from Mark 1. I'm going to talk about the 3 Johns in the life of Jesus. And from this story, you're going to figure out the difference between an assignment, a partnership, and a friend. Because to Jesus, John the Baptist was an assignment. John the Baptist had Jesus as an assignment because John the Baptist was part of Jesus' purpose. John the Baptist was sent to announce Jesus. If you read that Mark 1:16, the Bible made us to understand, starting from that one, all these 3 guys, all these 3 Johns, Jesus met them at the side of a sea. Jesus walked in, that was John the Baptist, baptizing people, and he said, this is the Messiah. This is the Messiah that has been sent to die for the sins of men. That was John's assignment. John was not Jesus' friend. He was assigned to his purpose. His purpose was to be the Christ that will die for our sin. Yes, we want all our relationship to lead to friendship, but not all our relationship will lead to friendship, because we will see down the line, at some point when John was in the prison, he wanted Jesus to be a friend, but he was expecting something that was not part of the purpose or that was not part of the deal. John the Baptist didn't get that from Jesus because it was an assignment. Now let's talk about one of Jesus' disciples, whom you know as Peter. Peter was the name that Jesus gave to him. But on the day that Jesus met him at the sea, he was a fisherman. His name was Simon. He has a brother, Andrew. Both of them were fishing when Jesus met them. And Jesus called them. He invited them to become a part of his team. And to Jesus, Peter, or Peter John, who is the second John I'm talking about in this story, was a partnership. He was part of the process. He was supposed to step in and build the process of the church. Peter was supposed to step in and build the process of the church by motivating the disciples so that they can start in their own Jerusalem. Peter became part of the process because he stepped into Jesus' role to lead the disciples out of their own situation and the pain and the loss of Jesus. Peter stepped in, became the leader, put them all together. They received the Holy Ghost, performed miracle. Peter was there, but Peter was not there all through the time. Because we remember on the Gethsemane, on the night that Jesus was going to be crucified, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. A friend is there at all times. Remember, that is the definition of a friend. Now let's talk about the 3rd John. And when I say the 3rd John, I'm not referring to the 3rd John book in the Bible, but actually the John that we call John the Beloved. John, the son of Zebedee. The John that was at the cross with Jesus. Yes, that was the John that was at the cross with Jesus. When Jesus said, "Mother," and he pointed to Mary, "Look at your son." That was the friend that Jesus handed over his mom to. He called on John and he said, "This is your new mom. You will be the one to take up the job of taking care of my mom." Because when it comes to relationship, the currency that we spend on our loved ones is honor. When it comes to relationship, the currency that we spend on our loved one is respect. And the language of honor is loyalty. To Jesus, John the Beloved was a friend. He was there through all the time. No wonder he was the one that wrote the book of Revelation. He was the last of the disciples to go. They dropped him into oil, he didn't die. John the Beloved was there. He was there from the beginning, he was there at the cross, he was there at the end. He provided us a template of what was going to happen after the elect, those who are believers in Jesus, had gone up. He wrote the book of Revelation. A friend will be the one to tell your complete story. A friend knew when you were in pain. A friend was with you when you were up in the mountain. On the mountain of transfiguration, a friend will be with you. On the mountain of that change and that evolution and that evolving, a friend will be with you. A friend will be with you when you are down and there is no form of motivation coming from anywhere. A friend will wake you up. So let's start with how to build your relationship. How do you build your relationship? Like I said, this is just an introduction. We're going to have many series on relationship. And you want to see this as your introduction. So keep this video because the next video is going to be another principle. How did Jesus pull all these followers together? The way Jesus went about it is the way you want to build your own community. First, Jesus made sure these people align with his values. Jesus said, "My Father walked, and so I walk." All these followers aligned with Jesus' value. He met them where they were walking. They were committed to a value, a common value. A common value. A common value, because your common value will drive your common interest. Your common value will drive your common respect or your common principle. Jesus found all those people where they were committed to something bigger than them. The second thing that you see when it comes to your building relationship, you are going to find, if you are new to a community and you are thinking, how do I build my business here? You want to go to where those businesses are gathering. For instance, if you are an event creator and you are new to a location, go to an organization to where they are having events and introduce yourself to the event planners there too. Because you already share common interests. If you're an event planner, you have to attend events. If you're a pastor and you are new in a location, go to churches and introduce yourself as a pastor. Go to the location where you will find people who have common values with you. And this also applies to those of you who are single and you're looking for a relationship. If you're a lover of Jesus and you want to build a relationship with people that are lovers of Jesus, you have to find them where you will be able to see them. Conferences, maybe church, maybe youth fellowship, or singles and or whatever you call it at your church. Jesus finds them where those people with common values are located. The second thing that we saw that Jesus did was he invited them. Don't be too proud to ask people out. Don't be too proud that you to tell people that I like you. Would you like to be my friend? I sound like I'm talking to my kids now, because every first day they are new to school. They're telling me, oh, I don't have friends. How do I make friends? Oh, I tell them, you tell them, hello, I like you.